why do you think sellers should choose Premium Plus content, or if they should choose it?
Yeah. So the most important thing I feel like it's not just clicking the box, right? So the algorithm, just like Saddam said, Amazon gives you all these tools, and not Amazon's not like people at Amazon are just like clicking their like fingers. Like, how should you make a seller's life more difficult? That's not the point behind it. The point behind it is to
Would you know what was the charges that was fixed for brands if they want to get this even before this was available for normal sellers?
100%, yeah. I think Rafael mentioned it as well. It was about $250,000. I've heard 100,000. I've heard 250,000. Again,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rich Sellers Podcast. Today, we are again joined with Rafael and Saddam with us. And today, we are going to start or restart from where we left last time. Today, we are going to talk about Premium Plus content. What are the eligibilities, how you can do it, and we're also going to look over some examples so that these two experts can share their opinion as well. So, without further ado, let's start with our guest's introduction today. So, Saddam, would you want to start with a small introduction about yourself?
yeah, definitely. So I feel like we had some unfinished business from last time. We talked a little bit about A plus premium content, but it wasn't really towards the finish line. So my name is Saddam Hassan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of AMZ One Step. We've been doing this for about 7 years now. It's almost muscle memory. What we do at AMZ One Step is pretty much all the creatives that you see, visual content on Amazon. So listing images, videos, A plus content, A plus premium content, storefronts, a little bit of other stuff as well. And yeah, fast forward 7 years, we're a team of over 150 people. And I'd like to say we've seen pretty much everything under the sun of Amazon's content realm. So I'm super excited to be talking about this specific topic because it's a hard discussion and we get asked a ton of questions about A plus premium.
That's great. Rafael, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience a little bit?
hey guys, it's going to hope all is well. I'm Shafiel. I'm studio. Round two, ding ding. As you all know, Salam and I are direct competitors actually. So I think this method of doing these podcast of things is great because you guys get both perspectives of what I believe that we are two experts in the realm. Saddam has made tons of A plus content, such as myself. Hopefully, we can you can learn something from us today. If not, please leave down in the comments below. We'll answer any questions that you guys like, and please subscribe to Sammy's YouTube channel. Very very important, and follow Saddam's AMC One Step channel, and follow our YouTube channel as well, which is Shared Studio. And hopefully, we can help you guys.
Yeah,
Should we start?
definitely. So, when you talk about Premium Plus content, let's talk first about what are the key differences in it, right? So, Saddam, would you like to start with how it is different from A Plus content? Okay, as a brand owner, we are brand registered. Now, if we look at A Plus content or Premium Plus content, what would you suggest the seller to go for?
Yeah, for sure. There's quite a few massive differences between A plus content and A plus premium content. Now, before I dive into like what modules specifically are different, I do want to address one thing, and that is why should you get A plus premium if you already have A plus content? So there's some data around it. Amazon speaks about it. There's about a 15% conversion lift that you can get just upgrading from A plus to A plus premium. I've also seen data published across different websites where brands that didn't have A plus content previously, and then they recently upgraded to A plus just to get the eligibility, and then upgraded to A plus premium, they actually got upwards of 50% conversion rate. Now, why is that important? Why should you get A plus premium content? It basically boils down to two fundamental things. The first one is user experience. Now, previously, the A plus content was designed by Amazon keeping desktop users in mind. But we know that nowadays, almost 3 out of 4 shoppers always shop on mobile. In fact, it's probably a bit
Yeah.
more than that. And with the A plus premium content, the biggest shoppers that were kept in mind were the mobile shoppers, because a lot of the data, a lot of the content in A plus content was just cluttered. It didn't really, it took away from the user experience of the shoppers. And even though they appreciated the information that was displayed, it also created a lot of lackluster and ambiguity and sometimes distractions. So not to say that the A plus premium content takes away from the user experience of desktop shoppers. It has enhanced the experience for both desktop and mobile, primarily for mobile shoppers. The second reason that you should get A plus premium is because primarily the A plus content was designed for two things: brand awareness and talking more in detail about the product. Now we know, in today's realm, shoppers are spoiled for choices, right? They have so much options. They're shopping on marketplaces, so they've sort of been disengaged or desensitized from what the brand represents. But if we
Yeah.
go away from the marketplaces, anytime, let's say you walk into a shoe store or you walk into a store to shop for phones, you naturally sometimes gravitate to those bigger brands like Nike or iPhones. And the reason you do that predominantly is because you want to belong to that community that the brand represents. And there is no other placement where you can talk about your brand, you can talk about yourself as a brand owner, other than A plus premium content. And the way it's visually formatted is so beautiful that you should take advantage of it. So when it comes down to those two main things, I would say user experience and then also educating the customers about your brand, what you guys represent, who is your community. And once you get that following, you'll notice that a lot of those loyal shoppers then speak about your brand outside of the marketplace. And that's how you get virality, essentially.
Got it. Rafael, do you want to add something to it?
Yeah, what was the question again?
Yeah. So, why do you think sellers should choose Premium Plus content, or if they should choose it?
Yeah. So the most important thing I feel like it's not just click in the box, right? So the algorithm, just like Saddam said, Amazon gives you all these tools, and not Amazon's not like people at Amazon are not just like clicking their like fingers. Like, how should we make sellers' life more difficult? That's not the point behind them. The point behind them is to enhance the user experience, to have users come back to the Amazon platform, so Amazon makes more money. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to make more money. So I want to make more money. I want to make more money. Sellers listen to this podcast want to make more money. So the idea is to make more money. That's why Amazon gives you all these tools. Okay, fine. Amazon gave this tool before premium this content was $250,000 plus. Now it's quote unquote free. It's not free, but it's almost free. You can there's like a little hack where you upload 15 versions of the brand story and the EBC, and you'll get premium plus content for free. Cool. So now everybody has premium plus content. So now everybody has access to it at least, right? So the bar is going up, 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 and up. The point that what we do at Share Studio is not just clicking off the box. So the algorithm says, "Oh, now you have premium plus content." The point is to beat your competition via user experience. The better user experience you get, or the shopping experience you get to your user, the most likely this user will become a loyal to your brand. Let's think Newer, which is I'm a filmmaker, so I love Newer. I've been using this brand since I was in school in 2010. Wow, 2020. Wow, jeez, I feel old, man. So the idea is to create content that actually is effective, that connects with the avatar. So why? Basically because you get to tell more of the story. If you don't tell your story correctly, users will not be in touch with your story. Like Mira, for example, they helped young filmmakers at a time. They're still helping young filmmakers. That's why I'm still not a young filmmaker anymore. I'm still young though. But they don't connect. If you're not connecting with the users, that's basically the point. You have to connect. And they give you all these tools like Saddam says. They give you the carousels, they give you the hotspots, they add you, you can add videos to it. You can add more modules. You actually have 40% more space. So the A plus content is like this. The premium plus content lets you have more space to it. So you get more attention, just like Instagram. If you post vertically, you don't get as much real estate in the screen like posting um, horizontal instead of vertically, right? So there's a lot of more uses to it, which you can find online. It's very easy to find. the most important thing I want you to take is having effective content that actually engages with the users by letting them remain more time on your listing.
Yeah,
That's the
definitely.
main reason why.
I think with premium A plus content, there is so many things like even comparison chart. We have so many options, like two, three different option. Premium A plus full video. We have premium video with text, with image, carousels, a Q&A part. I would probably share the screen and let me share my screen so that everyone can see this. Okay.
What one thing that I think really stands out
Hmm.
is that, like, just like Saddam said, a lot of the traffic comes through mobile. Um, Definitely more than 70% of the users shop through mobile. And premium plus content lets you personalize the mobile version. I think that's huge. That is
Yeah.
huge because you can custom to it to your audience. It's not the same thing people who are 60 plus buying on Amazon than people who are 20 years old buying on Amazon, right? Their
Hmm.
shopping experience is completely different. That's why knowing your buyer persona is extremely important.
Yeah.
You get Q&As as well, by the way.
Yeah, right now what we are looking at in the screen is the normal A plus content, the modules that we get, the normal A plus content. There's only few options that we get. This is how the comparison chart looks like, and this is Peter Basic, right? We don't have video module as well. But if we just go to, let's go to this one. If we just go to this one, this is from Pampers. That is how their A plus is designed. Okay, this is I think the main design that they have. This is I think called hotspot, something like that. Uh, this when we hover around, we can see the features. Oh,
Yep,
if we
that's
hover
the
on those
premium
circles, right?
hotspot one. Yeah.
Yep.
Again, this is I think the video. So coming down, we see this comparison chart option, and here you can see again we have option which is kind of carousel type. Then moving down to the Q&A part, right? So this is if we just talk about the prices that were previously set for this type of content. Do you guys know about the charges, Saddam? Would you know what was the charges that was fixed for brands if they want to get this even before this was available for normal sellers?
100%. Yeah, I think Raphael mentioned it as well. It was about $250,000. I've heard 100,000. I've heard 250,000. Again, no, none of our brands actually opted for it when it was that expensive. But I'm sure, like the big brands, that could afford it, actually paid that much. So think about 250,000 just to get access to A plus premium content. And now they're calling it a promo period, so I'm hoping it stays for a while, but you can get access to it for free as long as you're eligible. Now, they might take it away sometime down the line in the future, and
Hmm.
whoever is taking advantage of it, they're not going to pay for it. So they've made it pretty clear in the verbiage around it. So at some point, it might become a priced option, meaning they'll start charging for it, which is also very important why you need to have it right now, because once they convert it, and you don't have it, they're going to start charging you for it.
Got it. Even you can see this this carousels, right? I think. Do you guys think that this will be very small when you look at mobiles, or how is your experience on terms of conversion rate for PMA press content in mobiles? Rafael, do you want to take it?
Yeah, man, I'll take that one. So, two in terms of pricing starts 250 and then up to 500. Depends on the brands and what they need. But that now it's over. I completely agree with Saddam. Take advantage of it right now. If you don't, like, you're losing out. Like, literally, you're losing out.
Mhm.
In terms of the mobile versions, so there's like a like a means to an end. There's a thousand ways to cut an apple, right?
Yeah.
So it's sometimes for the mobile version depends on user. Again, you have to look at your statistics. But for example, this person most likely is doing it for ranking juice, so it has a lot of SEO in there. So maybe they're using it for ranking juice, but maybe the conversions, maybe they're ranking really good, and they're getting a lot of traffic, but their conversions are not doing well. That's why marketing is not 1 plus 1 is 2. Marketing is like 1 plus 1. Hey, maybe it's 2.5, maybe it's 1, maybe you have to add one more. It's about a trial error. Like, keep looking. It's like your PPC. You have to
Hmm.
always tweak it. You have obviously look at it, have a lens through it. So with that, affect mobile. Most likely they have on desktop they have that version, on mobile they have a different version. That's the beauty about premium A plus content, is that you can modify it. If they had that same version on mobile then they have on the desktop, obviously it's hurting them because people are not gonna go like, you know, it's harder to read. So for mobile version, most likely they have a different version. Hopefully they would have a different version. That's not my client, so I don't know. But if it was my client, I would make a different version. But yeah, that's about it. That's why they most likely have that like that. Just ranking, just which helps you. Which also in the Q&A, you also have comparison chart and you have Q&A for premium Nicholas content. That also helps you rank because the more keywords you put in there, the better obviously the algorithm's gonna say, okay, this listing is hitting all the key points, it's answering all these questions. Somebody asked for this, let's give them this.
Definitely
If
got
I
it.
could just
Saddam,
add
do you
to
have
it.
any such experience about conversion rate on mobiles?
Yeah. So first of all, if we think about content, right? Anything that is designed for the
Hmm.
product page needs to be done with the end user kept in mind. And I think Raphael said it the best. You need to know your customer avatar. You need to know the demographic of your customers so that you can design it in that specific way. And really, what that does is it gives two action items to each and every brand. First one, what is all the information we need to convey to the consumer? Second, what is the best possible visual presentation of that content? That's literally the job of any content on the product page. Okay. And when we come back to these the examples that you shared for the A plus premium content, yes, they're done correctly. They've used the newer models modules, but I feel that the dimensions of the modules weren't really done correctly. And I don't know if I have the chance to present my screen. Can I do that? I just want to run you through like an example. I was just looking at one right before the call. Awesome. Okay, let's see
Got it.
if you guys can see my screen here.
Yeah, maybe I can try to see the mobile version. Yeah, let me share the screen.
Here I have this. Okay, I thought it was
So this is how the
all
mobile
right.
version is looking. Okay. I think it changes completely
Okay,
when you look at mobile view, right? It is completely different. Yeah,
it does. Yeah, it tries to put it
this is how it
upside.
is.
I mean, it compresses it a bit. What you'll notice is from the
Mhm.
previous A plus content, I see that there was a comparison chart as an example. When you're scrolling through the comparison chart, usually with the
Yeah.
previous A plus content, it would hide the features that you're trying to highlight. But with the new A plus premium comparison chart
Yeah.
examples, it showcases those features along with the products. And what I really like about that is the carousel display of the comparison charts, where you can now see that particular product versus other potential products in your catalog. And it's really a good way to upsell.
Mhm.
Let's say you have a premium product in your catalog, but they're on a product page that is maybe um, a cheaper version of that same product. Now you can
Yeah.
upsell them and educate them about the experience. There, this is the one that I was talking about, right? So you can actually see the content displayed in a way where it's much easier to consume. And same thing I would say
Mhm.
with the spotlight, the premium spot, um, the
This
hover
one.
over
Yeah.
feature. This one exactly, because there's not a lot of bombardment of content. As Raphael mentioned, maybe they just put a lot of content just to get that ranking juice. I'm not particularly a big fan of that, to be honest, because I just feel that it has to be presented in a way where it makes the decision making easier, right? So you want to display the information that's relevant to the customer and let them decide what they want to see. And with this kind of module, it gives them that decision. If they want to get more information on it, they can hover over and get that specific feature. Otherwise, they're not really bombarded with that information.
Got
So
it.
when you present it this way, the
Mhm.
conversion rates are bound to pick up. As I mentioned, there's some published studies that increase the conversion rate by more than 50%, right? And who's to say? It's hard to isolate that. You can do some split testing, sure, but it's hard to isolate conversion rates based on that. Now what's coming directly from Amazon is you will typically get a 15% conversion rate. And they have the biggest data, that they can study, but they also have an incentive to push A plus premium content more. So again, there's that conflicting incentive there for them to push more A plus premium.
Yeah. So, Rafael, if you look at the screen, we can see the video that they are using. This is really big, right? It is covering almost the whole screen. So, obviously, when we talk about videos for this kind of thing, do you think we need to put a separate video apart from what we are already using in the listing? This is should be more product centric rather than showing the avatar. How do you think?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. So the thing is to follow. Um, I'm pretty sure that everybody has seen that video that's going viral on TikTok, right? I don't
Yeah.
know. Let's just imagine somebody falling, right? And it's funny and it hits 1 million views. Cool. 1 million views on TikTok. Hits. Great. Went viral. If you grab the same video and you put it on LinkedIn, most likely that video won't go viral. What does that tell you? That tells you that the buyer persona or the human, the user, right? Their experience at that moment is different than what it was in other platforms. Even if it's the same human. If I
Mhm.
go on, let's say, Facebook, it's not the same me going on LinkedIn. My intention is different. Just like shopping something on Instagram or TikTok and shopping something on Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon, I'm like 99% ready. I'm looking for a keyword. Amazon's a search engine. Then going on Instagram, it's just you're just going and seeing what you might buy. Oh, I like this. Like, let me save it for later. So you're not the situation is different. That the same thing happens with videos. So sponsor ads videos, those are the ones that they sponsor brand ad videos. Those are the ones that appear in the search engine, right? So that's a different type of video, and so forth. There's like seven type of different type of videos on Amazon. For the premium plus content, you have to be very careful. It cannot be dull, but it has to be informative. You have to tell more, not just about the product, but the brand as well. That's what we do. That's why it's worked for us so far. We increase conversions for users and also brand loyalty. Very important. Remember that Amazon right now, it's not like before 2015 when you just wanted to make a quick buck. You bought something in China, you sell it on Amazon, cost you $2, you sell them $10, boom, you made a quick profit, right? It's not like that anymore. Forget about those days. Those days are over. For a lot of people, not, but for a lot of people, they are over. For the majority of people, they are over. So Amazon wants you to build a brand. Brand loyalty is very big for them. In that sense, the videos that go inside the premium plus
Mhm.
content, they're not all the same. There's not a formula that says only these type of videos go here. But you have to make a plan before you execute that plan, right? If you don't have a target, you'll never hit it. So you need to have a target first. What we do most of the cases, majority of the cases, is talk about the product. If there's different products that with different colors or something like that, you showcase that you hit on points that you didn't touch on the listing video. Because if they're seeing the sponsor, the premium influence content video, most likely, I'm not saying 100% of the times, but most likely they already watched your video on your listing. Okay, so hit on points that you haven't hit on that listing video, hit it on the premium influence content, and make sure you're trying to build that sense of FOMO. Hey, I need to buy this to make my life better in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's a shoe cleaner, maybe it's a hanger for clothes, maybe I don't know. There's so many things out there, but make sure you're hitting that emotional fiber for the buyer. Everything comes through the emotions, so make sure you're hitting that emotional fiber for the buyer. That's it.
Definitely, I think that was a really valid point shared by Rafael. So, Saddam, I think I have a question that would be really exciting for the audience to listen to. So, when we look at Premium Plus content, because we knew that this type of content was something that previously Apple and Samsung used to do because they had a lot of money, right? So, when we look at a normal seller, okay, let's assume they are doing 100,000 a month. Okay, that is not a normal seller though. So, they want to get into this Premium Plus content. What kind of budget they should have in their mind to design this kind of content from scratch?
Yeah, it the budget is, it really depends, right? How much are they willing to invest? How many SKUs do they have?
Mhm.
And what kind of content do they have existing on their Amazon? So it really varies. I would say some of the seasoned sellers, they tend to make more of an investment. They like to make almost 2 to 3% of their budget goes into creatives, right? But if you're just starting out, maybe it's a bit more. What I wouldn't recommend is going to Fiverr and asking designers to design it. You can even do it yourself, by the way. I'm not saying it can be done. The reason I discourage that practice is because a freelancer, let's say a designer, is only a designer. That designer is not an Amazon expert. That designer is not a photographer. That designer doesn't really know what converts on Amazon. They're just going to look at it from a design perspective, right? So you need a full-fledged agency like Rafael's or myself that has the team, and every department is specialized in its own way and cater to it that way. Now, in terms of unlocking it or being eligible for it, I would just echo off of what Rafael said previously, where you had to pay $250,000 or even $500,000 just to get access. Now, all you have to do is be brand registered, have brand story published on all your SKUs. And that's so easy. If you have one category, you can literally have the same brand story across the whole catalog. And the third thing is to have 15 EBC or A plus content applications approved in the past 12 months. Now, the quick little hack that I think Raphael was also pointing out too is you can literally do this with one ASIN. All you have to do is just make minor tweaks. It can be like text tweaks within your A plus content on that particular ASIN and submit that 15 different times, and you will get access to it. So, getting the access is free of cost. How much you want to invest will really be dependent on what you've done previously with content and how much of a budget you want to allocate in terms of your revenue.
Definitely. Rafael, do you want to add something to it?
Yeah, I'm not trying to shamelessly plug in my video, but we did make a video for that. It's on our YouTube channel. You can go check it out. The 15 ways you can do the little hack. So that's completely right. Minor tweaks. You can literally change hello to bye. That's it. Just upload. Right? And do it that 15 times. Get them approved. It takes a little bit of time, but once you get it, you automatically get it unlocked, which is great. Like, Saddam is also right. They put this is a trial phase, so we don't know. Like Amazon, maybe tomorrow wakes up and they're like, let's make their life harder again. The economy is good now. Let me just charge them again 200, 300, $500,000 for this because they're making a bunch of money now. You don't know what could happen, so just unlock it. Even if you don't use it, just get it. It's there. It's free. Um, in terms of pricing, yeah, man, I would definitely consider the category of shelving. It's not the same thing to sell supplements and to sell kitchen utensils, right? It's not the same thing to sell babies and sell plants, supplements. So it just depends on who you're trying to convince to buy. Also, the point of sale, like it's not the same. You're making $50 on an item than to making $2 on an item, right? So it just depends on a lot of things. I don't want to be vague. I hate when people are like just like, oh, let me see. Like, no, it does just depends. We've had Premier Plus content that we've done for $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
We've had Premier Plus content that we've done for $20,000. It just depends on what you're looking to achieve. If it has a video, obviously it's got to be more expensive. If it's what we called organic, which is with a real life model, it changes as well. If it's a real life model and it's a baby model, that completely raises the price. Working with babies is extremely difficult. It just depends how many models you have. So many variations. I think that the best way you could do is at least contact Saddam or myself directly. Like, hey, I have this. How much would it be? The most important thing that I want to add before I answer is don't get stingy with it. What do I mean by that? Guys, if you're spending a bunch of money bringing all these products from China, Taiwan, Mexico, Colombia, wherever you're bringing it from, and you're spending, you have a $50,000 budget, you spend $40,000 doing everything else, and then you spend your $5,000 on PPC, and then you spend X amount on getting brand registry, and you only have $1,000 to make pictures, videos, photos, A plus content. Like, are you really gonna sell? You only did half of the way. Now you have to convince people to buy your product, and that's through the visual aspect. Because people, when we say in Venezuela, people eat through their eyes, right? So you cannot be in the store. You're not in the store checking out the product and seeing, oh, this is American Express card. It's cool, blah blah. You can't do that over there. You're not in the store. You have to do it visual, and the best way to do it is through the content. Imagine like a Tinder profile. I'm pretty sure somebody here has used Tinder before, right? So in Tinder, you want to showcase the best way possible. This is literally Tinder for your products. People are making a choice to buy your product or not to buy your product. So make sure that you present yourself the best way as possible. If you're not, you might be the best kind of hard human possible. But if you do not have a presentable picture, people are not going to match with you. It's the same thing like that. I like to use metaphors so people can get it.
Definitely. I think today we had a really fun discussion and we looked at really cool designs today. So I think we are already past 30 minutes. So, Saddam, where can people find you and how they can take advantage of your services?
Yeah, for sure. So you guys can find us at www.amz1step.com. We're across all socials, so Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, you name it, we're there. AMZ One Step, just type that in any of the social platforms, or just email me directly at Saddam at amz1step.com, and I'll get you in touch with one of my teams, and we'll see how we can help you.
Got it. Rafael, where can people find you?
My guys, sellers, you can find me at hello@sharestudio.com. That's my personal email. You can hit me up there. If not, you can look for YouTube. It's Share Studio, Instagram as well. Yeah, literally just the same. Just type Share Studio and you'll find a way to contact me. We'll give you a free complimentary consultation. We'll teach you. We'll do an audit for your listing and see how we can help and push you to point you the right way possible. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you guys so much for joining today. I think we really had a fun discussion today. I would love you guys to join again on a later podcast where we deep dive into Premiere Plus content or videos in those podcasts. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining today.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Appreciate it. Yeah, nice to run it back.